Gladiatorial combat. Fighting to the death, originally a blood offering to pagan gods. This developed into a sport that would create the most beloved athletes of ancient times, a sport that would ultimately become seen as so brutal it must be stopped. A blood sport. The original blood sport. Welcome to Harness Ancient Wisdom. Today we start our series of gladiators. We are starting with a gladiator so brutal and skilled in combat that he would be given a palace by one of the most hated emperors in Rome's long history, Emperor Nero. Nero would also make his last request to the gladiator known as Spiculus. Little is known about Spiculus's early life. Like most gladiators, he was likely born into poverty, a slave, or a prisoner of war. But in the brutal world of the gladiatorial games, Spiculus's skill set him apart. He was a fighter who excelled in the art of combat, a man who knew that his life depended on his ability to entertain the bloodthirsty crowds of ancient Rome. Spiculus must have been expected to die in his first match against the free Roman gladiator known as Aptonetus. Aptonetus had won his first 16 fights and was a hugely regarded gladiator. Perhaps the best-known man in the empire other than the Emperor Nero. Aptonetus was surely expected to win, however. He did not win. He was beaten in the match and then killed by the debutant Spiculus. Spiculus became the favorite of the Emperor Nero, arguably the most powerful man in Europe at that time. Overnight he had gone from obscurity to the gladiator of the day. Hearing the chant of thousands that day, he would go on to fight many more times. Spiculus received gifts from the Emperor Nero, and this included a palace. Bizarrely, Spiculus was not a free man at this time. He was still a slave and would have had to fight and earn his own money. So he had his own palace, but was a slave at the same time. He lived a life of luxury and would wake up in a beautiful Roman palace and then go to the Colosseum and fight and kill for his life. Afterwards, he would be given gifts from the emperor and return to his villa, a situation very few people in history have had. Spiculus grew wealthy, and Nero even bestowed upon him the ultimate honor of a close relationship, a connection that went beyond the arena. Nero's reign, marked by cruelty and excess, eventually led to his downfall. In 68 AD, facing rebellion and losing control of his empire, Nero fled the city. In one of the stranger parts of a strange story, Nero knew that he would be killed and sent for Spiculus to do this favor for him. It is unknown why, but Spiculus did not kill Nero. Perhaps the message did not reach him, or perhaps he chose not to, and in the end, Nero took his own life. In a scene similar to the end of many dictatorships, people tore down statues, rioted, celebrated, and looted at this time of liberation from a tyrannical reign. It is unknown what exactly happened to Spiculus in the end. He may have faded into obscurity, or perhaps he was killed in the arena. Some believe that he was murdered by the angry crowds due to his close association with Nero. Thank you for joining me for episode 1 of my series on gladiators. Like and subscribe for more. This has been Harvest Ancient Wisdom.